Alright, so in this video we're going to start crafting our perfect on-page optimization for the 3 or possibly 4 pages that we laid out in the last video. And we're already, the cool thing is that we're already going to create our on-page optimization before we're even creating any content. We're going to get stuff right before the content's even in there. And the 4 most important metrics of on-page optimization for each page or post is the title, the URL, the description, and the H1. So what we're going to do is first we're going to start looking at our data. We can start sorting things by maybe we want to look at what's the highest volume keyword, what's the highest CPC keyword. We have a lot of green here, meaning a lot of these keywords are going to be very, very easy to target with our top keyword basically having green across the board. So I'm going to lend, or I'm going to basically, form my keywords and my on-page optimization based on this keyword basically pretty heavily, but I'm still going to make sure I'm including all of this stuff into my title, page URL, description, and H1. But if you guys kind of look at how many words actually exist within all these keywords, we have spray, foam, insulation, and Edmonton. All of those keywords are covered here. All of those keywords are covered here. All 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 those keywords are covered here, here, and here. So basically with this one single keyword that's 4 long, people are just using different variations of these 4 words to create all these other keywords that add up all this extra traffic. And that's why we're going to be able to, basically create one page that's targeting all these multiple keywords because they all belong in a tight group that relates to this single keyword. The other really, really nice thing, guys, is when you're building backlinks to rank this particular page, which is going to be the home page, each one of these is actually an anchor text, and a very, very strong anchor text that you can use to backlink to your page. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 anchor texts that all say a different thing, but they're all super highly relevant to this particular page. So here's your safe linking plan right here, guys. Use these as your anchor text to link in. You're going to be totally safe. You're not going to be over optimized for your LSI. Because you're using LSI, you're not going to get any penguin penalties or stuff like that, because every one of them is very different, but they're all extremely relevant because they're LSI keywords. So let's go ahead and start crafting our title. Obviously, I'm going to want to get my main keyword that I'm going to target into the title, and we're going to go ahead and create spray foam insulation Edmonton as our title. And then if you wanted to go ahead and add some, extra verbiage just to make it not quite as, it's not too aggressive of a title, we could say something like spray foam insulation Edmonton, and then we could even add a phone number, whatever it would be, something like that, or we could say your top or your professional installers or something like that. I'll just go with that for now. If I had another keyword in here that kind of had another word that wasn't already covered, we could do that. Something like maybe you'd have spray foam insulation jobs, or I don't know, maybe that would go into a new group. But you could always work that extra little bit of keyword into your title. So we're just going to go with this for now, so that we have our exact keyword first in our title, and then a couple extra words in here. You're a professional. I'll even add the word Alberta, because Edmonton is in Alberta, so you're professional Alberta installers. Page URL, because this is the home page, we're not going to need a page URL, and we have to be very careful with what words we're using in our URL. So basically, one thing I want you guys to remember, we don't have this in the Project Supremacy setup, but our page is basically going to set up like this. So it's going to be the URL, spray foam insulation edmonton.net/. Now anything that comes after the slash is what our page URL is going to be. So for instance, if we were actually creating a page to target foam Edmonton, we could use foam Edmonton, and that would be our page URL. So the total URL would be spray foam insulation edmonton.net/foam Edmonton. However, the problem with doing this is foam and Edmonton are already in the URL. You can see spray foam insulation Edmonton. So you do not want to repeat on an EMD, you do not want to repeat any of the keywords that are in the top level domain in the page. So luckily for us, this is the home page, so we don't need to create a page URL. We can even just call it home, because once we set it to the front page, it's going to drop any URL. But I'll go over that again where we are actually creating a page and show you guys how to craft really good URLs. Okay, so now we're on to our description. So we can say something like, for the best spray foam insulation in Edmonton, call us today. So this is going to be the description that shows up in Google. So you definitely want to write this and practice writing good descriptions. I mean, you could even go on Google and search how to write, creative ad copy, because this is basically a classified ad that's showing up on Google. So you're going to want to write something that's keyword rich. So we're basically covering our spray foam insulation Edmonton. All those things are in here. You want to have it keyword rich, but you also don't want to over optimize for that keyword. So you're going to want to have a couple extra words in there, and you're going to want to kind of entice people to click. So I'm just kind of like trying to think of like a better thing to say than this. For the best spray foam, we can even say something like this description: Edmonton's best spray foam insulation. I'm gonna change, and actually instead of Edmonton, I'll say Edmonton, Alberta's. So the keyword Edmonton is actually there, not Edmonton's. So Alberta's is fine. Edmonton, Alberta's best spray foam installation company. And then you could have a phone number in there again, because it does show up on Google, and it's great to have your phone number. So I'm just going to stick with that for now. And then our H1, we're going to go I'm going to go with my next highest keyword here, spray insulation Edmonton. And then I'm going to go foam to get that keyword in there. And what else could I say? So we could do spray foam. Actually, I could even just do spray foam. I'm just reversing. My title is spray foam, so spray insulation. So you can see how even I kind of still struggle with a little bit of the balance of what to put in here, but you'll definitely over time get better with this. Foam insulation. I'll say spray foam applications for insulation Edmonton in Edmonton. So you can still see I've got every keyword in the H1. I've got it in the title, I've got it in the description, but they're flipped around throughout it. And then the URL once again is a home page. So I'll show you how to do that on this group. This group's going to be pretty easy because it's a single keyword. So let's just go with that, and we're going to click Save Group. And we're going to work on the next group. So home insulation Edmonton. So the title, we're going to grab our keyword and make it stand out right up front, home insulation Edmonton. And then I'm going to just add another thing here. Efficient and cost effective for a title. So I'm just you know, kind of adding some home insulation Edmonton, efficient and cost effective, maybe installers, or I don't know, I could even leave it like that. But now we're into the URL. So our keyword is home insulation Edmonton. So once again, our EMD is this. Oh, that kind of came in pretty big. Let's undo that. Hang on. There, I'll put it in like this. And now we're just trying to create the URL aspect of things. So the word insulation is already in our EMD. The word Edmonton is already in our EMD, but the word home is not. So that is what I'm going to use for my page URL. So I'm just going to type in the word home. And I can even add another LSI if I wanted to, like we could do like home installers, because now we have basically spray foam insulation edmonton.net/home installers, which is a pretty good page URL. You can pick up any person that's typing in like installers or companies or something like that if you use that. But I'm just going to use home installers. Our description is going to be the best home insulation in Edmonton is spray foam. It's the newest method and highly efficient. I'll just say highly efficient. I'm a terrible speller, so I just use the spell check. So a nice keyword-rich description, the best home insulation in Edmonton. So I'm covering my keyword there. Is spray foam. It's the newest method and highly efficient. Contact us today for a quote. You could say something like that. That's even a great thing to say on the home page. Contact us now. And then our H1 is basically going to be our keyword. Home insulation, and then I don't want to be super rammy with it, so I'm just going to say home insulation for Edmonton, and I can even just do that. So we're adding kind of a stop word, but we're not over spamming it. So I'm going to go ahead and click save that group and make sure I save the changes I did over here. And now we're going to get going a little bit faster. So now we have attic insulation. So for my title, I'm going to go ahead and click attic insulation Edmonton, and I'm going to say keep your home warm in winter. And actually this would be also do the reverse, keep your home warm in the winter, keep your home cool in the summer. And so let's try and encompass both of those ideas, because Edmonton is seasonal. Keep your home efficient, something like that. Home efficiency through effective. I'll just say home efficiency, just to keep it kind of simple. And remember, you guys, when we start ranking these pages and working on these pages, these things can always be changed, these titles. If you're finding you're not ranking high enough and you want to do a title tweak or a description or H1 tweak, you always can. So don't be afraid to just like get these things done. Then you can always change them up later. So URL, once again, we already have insulation in Edmonton in the root domain. So attic is the only next keyword. So we're just going to do that. Go ahead and put attic as the page URL. And then description. Having properly done. I want to make sure I use my keywords, so attic insulation in Edmonton is extremely, let's see, I'm such a bad speller. Extremely important to the efficiency of your home. Okay, we're just gonna spell this correctly. And I'm gonna add the word proper. So proper attic insulation in Edmonton is extremely important to the efficiency of your home. Call us today for a quote. So there you go, really nice description. It's got attic insulation Edmonton, attic insulation in Edmonton. And then H1, once again, we can just kind of copy the method that we did over here, home insulation for Edmonton, except now we're going to change that to attic insulation for Edmonton. And now we're done. And we're going to click Save Group. And I might as well go ahead and do this one. So installation companies in Edmonton, installation contractors Edmonton. So we're going to try and blend these two. So the title of the page is going to be Installation Companies and Contractors in Edmonton. There you go. Very simple. Page URL, company contractors. Description, our preferred installation. Let's spell that right. Companies and contractors in Edmonton for spray foam. That's good enough. And then companies and contractors. So, and I'll even do installation companies and contractors. So there we go. Our title is Installation Companies and Contractors in Edmonton, which covers all these keywords. Our page URL is going to be sprayfoaminstallationedmonton.net/company contractors. And our description is our preferred installation companies and contractors in Edmonton for spray foam installs. I'll even add another word. And then our H1 is installation companies and contractors. So you can see once again we've blended everything throughout the titles, page URLs. We're not over optimized. We're not repeating ourselves in the URL. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Group. And that is our total on-page optimization. You can actually see that these it dropped our broad phrase and title. So I should be able to just press refresh to get those back. And it didn't, so I'm actually going to save my project. And I'm going to head out here and come back in and see if I can pick them up again. Oh, it didn't pick them up, but what I can do is I can always just press refresh and run that data again. But what's important here is that we had our data, and with that data we were able to kind of, you know, craft our title, URL, description, H1. There you can see it's back. It's not so hard when it's a single keyword. It's a little harder with these types of keywords. So you can see we lost a few of them, but that's okay. We had already gotten our stuff done. So once you have all your titles, URLs, description, and H1s complete, now what you're going to do is you're going to create your empty pages. We have a very simple way to do that. So there's our 4 groups that we have, and we want to create pages for them all. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And it is going to create those pages for us, and I'm going to show you how it's done your on-page optimization for you. So you can see it's a success for all of them. These are shortcuts right into the page. So we'll go ahead and click on one. We'll click on the home page first. And you can see it's done our H1 tag for us, it's done our URL for us, it's inserted our title, and it's inserted our description. If I go back to our home installation page, you can see the same thing. Home installation, home installers I used for the URL. There's our title, there's our description. So you can see it's done all of our work for us. So basically each page now has its title, its description, its URL, and its H1 tag already put into the proper place. So from here, all you're going to need to do now is get your content inserted, and then we can go through these short codes to start adding things like geotagged images, YouTube videos, short codes, affiliate links, and stuff like that. One more thing on this video that I want to talk to you about is once those pages are created, and you say you leave your blog and you come back, we do have shortcuts. So this group leads to the attic page. If you go to the page post edit button, you can see this will send you right over to that page to do your editing. So there we are in the attic pages. And the other nice thing is that we've kind of included a two-way title. So like if you want to change your title, so like for instance, I'm just going to write the word change in here, okay? And then I'm going to click Save Group. And now I'm going to go to the page or post for the attic page. And you're going to see the title has now got the word change in it because I changed it over there. So it changed for you over here, but we also do the reverse. So now I'm going to write change back, and then I'm going to update the page. And then I'm going to refresh this page. And now you can see it's turned to change back. So it's a two-way, it's kind of a two-way communication. If you change the title here or if you change it on the page, it's going to save it in both places so that you're always seeing what you actually have there. So I'm just going to erase that. I'm going to go ahead and save that group again. Go back here, press refresh, and then this change back should be removed from our title. And there you go. We have our proper title loaded up. So that's it for that video, guys. I am going to go ahead and shoot the next one to show you how to start inserting content, ordering content, and then getting this blog to start ranking really, really quickly. And one more thing. I just want to show you the date and time again because I want to show you how long this is actually taken. Now, of course, I'm shooting videos and editing things as I go, so it's taking us a bit longer, but it is now still December 16th, and it's now 2:02 p.m., so I think we're on like 2.5 hours to get to this point where our project is well underway. We have our pages all done, our product, our keywords are chosen, our plan is created, our on-site optimization is created for each page, and that's only taken me 2.5 hours while I'm editing video. It should take you a lot faster. So we've gone all the way from keyword research to this point in 2.5 hours, which is absolutely insanely good. But I'm going to show you guys how much better it's going to get in the next video. So I will talk. Alright guys, in this video we are going to start creating our blueprint for our website with our keyword research and our planning our pages and stuff like that. So you're going to want to go to your project supremacy and click on projects, and of course you're going to want to add a new project. And what I like to use for my real projects is actually just the domain name that I'm creating a site on. So spray foam insulation edmonton.net. Okay, and we're going to add a project. And now there's a bunch of options as far as how you want to create these pages. You can just start with these empty groups by copying, pasting keywords from the keyword planner. You can automatically create groups, or you can use you can actually go into the keyword planner and create a nice clean plan and import a clean plan so that you don't have to do as much editing. And that's the one I'm going to show you. So if you go into your Google AdWords keyword tool account, I'm going to type in my main keyword, spray foam insulation Edmonton, and I'm going to go ahead and get ideas. Now I like to, a lot of people, you know, they like to target Canada or the location that they're using to get their data. I don't. I like to use all locations almost every time because, for instance, if someone was in Phoenix and looking for spray foam insulation Edmonton, maybe it's somebody that's just here for the winter or on vacation or something like that, and they're doing their search from here, but they still own a home in Edmonton, and you don't want to discount those people. You don't want to discount those out of your search volume either. So typically I don't set a location filter. One filter I do like to set though is a keywords to include. I only want to deal with keywords that have Edmonton in them. Like, I'm not interested in Red Deer or Calgary or other cities around there. So I'm going to make sure it's Edmonton, and I'm going to click save on that. I'm going to get ideas. And there's a couple things that you can do. I always find that the ad group ideas is Google actually doing most of your organizing for you. So for instance, I'm going to look at Edmonton insulation. You can see these are all really good keywords that we can target. I'm going to go back. I'm going to definitely import all those. I'm going to look at foam Edmonton because spray foam. You can see these are all really good and deal with Edmonton. There's another group of keywords. Jobs doesn't really matter. Roofing is sort of related. I know a lot of people do the spray foam insulation in attics and stuff, but it's not necessarily what I'm after. So these two groups is what I'm going to basically focus on. But you can see that there is a lot of groups here. So really I'm just going to let's just download all these groups, and I'll show you how to clean stuff up because it's just important. So we're going to make sure you choose the Excel CSV file, not the AdWords CSV. and go ahead and click on download. And then we're going to click on save file. And what I like to do is rename this file to what the keywords are about. So we have basically spray foam insulation Edmonton, and then obviously I want to save that file in my handy dandy folder that I talked about in earlier videos. So I'm just going to save that CSV in that folder so everything's nice and organized. And then from there I'm going to come back here and I'm actually going to import that CSV. So I'm going to do import CSV. I'm going to choose the file that I just saved, and that is in my spray foam Edmonton folder, which is here. And there's my CSV. I'm going to go ahead and open that up, and then go ahead and click upload. And as you can see, it's already pre-populated all my groups for me with the volume and the CPCs that we got from Google. So the next step from here is kind of going to be eliminating the stuff that you don't need, and I'll show you this really quickly. So like for instance, this group of keyword Edmonton contractors, well, that could mean a lot of things. And actually, if you're looking at these things, this could be a whole new rank and rent site. It does give you new ideas, but I'm not interested in this group of keywords for this particular site. So I'm just going to go ahead and start deleting groups that really don't deal with what I am. So Homes Edmonton, this whole group, I'm going to delete. We have web design in Edmonton. We're going to delete this group. We have kind of employment services. That's another good rank and rent you could build. A bunch of free classified stuff. Definitely delete that group. Jobs in Edmonton. We know that we're going to delete that group. More jobs in Edmonton. We're going to delete that group. Roofing contractors. We're going to delete that, even though that would be a great rank and rent site. And now we're down to basically, you can see Edmonton insulation, insulation companies in Edmonton. We have spray, attic, home. So these are great keywords. And then we have spray foam insulation, all this stuff, which is really, really great. And then of course they're going to give you kind of like this group is called keywords that are like, and so you're going to see a lot of these are not really related. But one thing you can do is you can press Control F here, and you can type in things like insulation or insol, because that's the first part of insulation. You can see all these keywords are highlighted. We don't see anything in this group. And then another word maybe would be spray, and we don't see anything in this group. So it's pretty safe to say that there's nothing in this group that's related to spray foam insulation. I'll even do foam just to do another check. Yeah, so this whole group is pretty much useless to us as well. So we're going to go ahead and delete that group. And you can see fairly quickly we're down to, you know, there's 5 keywords over here and it looks like 6 over here, 11 keywords. And now we're going to do, we're going to clean these up and start organizing these into pages that we want to do. So one thing I actually want to go back to is our main keyword. I know that we had some keywords that were very, very valuable to us. So like for instance, spray foam insulation Edmonton. And that may not have got picked up into our group. And you can see it didn't. So I can just go ahead and add that in. I'll just click add keyword, and I'm just going to pop that in there. And then Edmonton spray foam insulation. Actually, I'm going to just even add a new group for this longer tail keyword. So this is going to take a little bit longer. This video is, I mean, when we start getting to this point, you definitely want to take your time and really organize things well. So this video might be a little bit longer, but I want to be pretty thorough with what I'm doing. So I'm starting to organize into groups. So this one's really dealing with spray foam insulation. You can see foam insulation Edmonton. So this keyword we can move into this group. So in order to move a keyword into a new group, the group has to have a name. So we're going to do spray foam insulation Edmonton, and I'm going to mark this also as the home page because this is going to be our main keyword and our main group that we're targeting. So I'm going to save that. It's going to do its thing, So now I can move this keyword. So we have foam insulation, Edmonton, Edmonton spray foam, Edmonton foam. Actually, all these keywords will go into this group fairly well. So that's all I'll do. I'll just move this entire group, including this keyword, into the new group. And you can see I marked my home page, so I'm going to change that. So there you go. I'll delete the blank ones. Actually, there's a faster way to do that. You can even just select double and then go delete keywords, and it'll delete multiples, which is great. And then we can now delete this group as well. So when we analyze this group, we can see these keywords, spray foam Edmonton, foam insulation Edmonton, Edmonton spray foam. They're all basically dealing with foam insulation or spray foam insulation in Edmonton. So we can actually target all these keywords from a single group. It's very, very tightly focused. It's going to be easy to craft page title, URL description, and H1 to basically target all these keywords. So we'll move over to the next group and start dividing these up. So home insulation Edmonton, it's not really dealing with spray foam, so it's more home insulation. So maybe we'll create a new group for home insulation. Insulation contractors, Northern Insulation. I'm actually going to delete this one, Northern Insulation Edmonton, because that sounds like a brand. So I'm going to get rid of them. I always like to get rid of brands. So home insulation, attic insulation. These are starting to divide into subgroups, you can see. So let's do this. Let's start changing this up. So I'm going to change a keyword group, and I'm going to create a new group because I don't have one yet. So this is for home insulation. So that might be a nice page that we can target that keyword on. I'll just say home insulation for a group name. And then I noticed another group here. Where was it? Oh, it's moved over here now. Okay, so attic insulation. That could be a really good group or a page that we would want to target stuff about attics. So I'm going to do attic insulation. We're going to create a new group for that. Then, you know, companies, that could be its own group. It's got 70 searches a month with a 92-cent CPC. Companies, contractors, those are kind of similar keywords. So we'll put those in their own group. We may or may not use them, but we are going to put them into their own group. So we're just going to call that group companies, contractors. Okay, so now we're kind of down to, we have attics, we have homes, we have our home page, which is all basically spray foam insulation. This one can go into that home group, and then we have Edmonton insulation, which could actually, that could fall into the home group too, just because Edmonton insulation is going to be covered by, you can see we have insulation Edmonton, so it's kind of like a smaller root keyword of what we're going for. So those are both going to go into the home group as well. And there's our home page, and I'm going to change that group. And now this is an empty group, so I can delete it. And what we have left, you can see we have basically a 4-page site that we're looking like we're going to plan out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 keywords, 10, 11, 12. So 13 keywords, which is really, really great. So this is a great starting point, you guys. So you have a home page, you have home installations, you have attic installations, and then you have companies and contractors. So I mean, if you're building a rank and rent site for a specific company, you might not have this page, but if you were building a site where you were going to feature, like be more of a directory site for foam insulators in Edmonton, you could actually definitely have this page, and then on this page you could rent out spots. Well, you could rent them out on your home page, or you could create a new page. You could target those brands. So when people are searching for, like, I forget what the brand names were, but let's just say like Spray Clinic, for example, you could have a page specifically for Spray Clinic, so that when people are searching Spray Clinic Edmonton, your page will show up as well as theirs. So it's just value added. So there's so many options, guys, and you're going to have to kind of get a bit creative with how you want to do things. I'm going to hold on to this companies and contractors group. For now, I might not build that page, but these three I'm definitely going to build. So the next step that I want to do is I want to get my keyword data for this group. And because I have my API key for the CAPTCHA in there, I should be able to successfully pull the broad phrase in title in URL counts pretty easily. And there you go. Everything is done. So I'm going to get the next keyword data. Single keywords are usually a little bit quicker, and this thing will go right from 0 to 100 pretty fast. There we go. And then this one, we're going to grab all the data, and you can see that because we type these in manually, that's why we don't have the volume in CPC. The ones that we did the AdWords import, that's why we have those numbers. And if you guys see any difference between the keywords that are here and the keywords that were here, the likely difference is that there was geotagged filters on. So I know there was some bugs, but we're definitely working on that so that these are going to be matching up very, very nicely to what's in here. But it's not going to affect whether your site's able to rank or not. It's just you know, your keyword volume. It's just like a metric that you want to see when you're deciding, okay, which keyword do I really want to target. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and click select all, and then I'm going to go ahead and get my keyword data. And this one is going to take a little bit longer just because there's 9 keywords. So I'm going to pause the video and I will be right back when it is done. All right, we're back, and you can see it's pulled all the data. So there's a couple things I do want to go over. You're noticing these CPCs are set to 0, and the reason why, and you're also noticing that in my video, I'll show you the keyword planner tool. Spray foam insulation, if I remove United States as my location, this will change to the 320 that we saw in the original videos, and you see the suggested bid is $8.95. Whereas when it is targeted to the United States, I'm going to click save on that. You'll see the CPC is actually going to drop to 0 because no one in the United States is targeting a keyword for Edmonton, and there's only 170 searches per month from the States up to Edmonton. And so this is basically pulling in United States data. So that's something, a bug that we're going to fix, but just be aware that if your numbers are any different at all, that is why. The other thing I want to go over is these zeros. If you see zeros popping up, basically that just means whoever's solving your CAPTCHA got it wrong. So all you have to do in order to turn these zeros back into correct numbers is just click on the refresh key, or if you had multiple ones, just select the ones and then click get keyword data again. So we're just going to let that run so that we have our plan completely filled out. All right, there you go. The refresh has done done its work. So now we have a complete plan here, and we can start basically working on our on-page optimization with the 4 most important metrics, which are obviously title, page URL, description, and H1, but I am going to save that for the next video because this one is just showing you guys how to build the plan. So I'll end it there and see you in the next video.